Yo, what's going on? We live, we live, we live. Oh boy, you can hear me now? Okay. Yeah. It's probably because of that. What's going on, y'all? This is officially episode 1 of the Jayy Redd Unfiltered Show. I'm testing some stuff out. I'm gonna go ahead and see if we can add my boy Aaron in here. Oh, you hear me? Oh yeah, I can hear you. Oh yeah,
There we go. Can you guys hear me?
yeah, I can hear you. Yeah, we good.
Loud and clear.
Yeah, what's going on, Brody?
What's up with you, Brody?
Man, nothing much, man. So just chilling for real, for real. So yeah, so I'm pretty sure you already know why we here. We here to have a conversation, right?
Mhm.
And basically, when we having this conversation, just setting some ground rules for the people. We gonna, try to, be respectful of everybody's opinion. We gonna try to, acknowledge and, give everybody, a voice because that's what this is for. This is like a platform for people to have discourse. And so this is a little something new. So, I hope y'all enjoy it. So basically, what I'm gonna start with is basically breaking down the topic of what we're gonna talk about, and I'm just gonna tell we'll just take it from there. Is that cool with you?
Man, I'm down with that.
Oh, I'm
Let
sorry. I'm
me set
sorry.
the
First, we probably need to introduce yourself too. You know what I mean? So, yeah.
yeah,
So, go
yeah.
ahead.
Well, my name is A Rod. I am a photographer out of St. Louis. I am a fitness guru at a local YMCA. I'm a father of one. Um, I don't know what else you want to know about me, but I will say that I'm from St. Louis, the St. Louis region myself. I am pretty dedicated to being a proud black man myself, proud black father. I love photography. That's my life. That's what I do. That's my goal to continue to make it the everyday thing for me. So, um, yeah, that's me. Again, my name's Aaron, not Aaron, just Aaron.
Yeah, you don't gotta dox yourself though, bro. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just playing. But yeah. So uh, before back to where I was at before I decided to jump the gun and skip the introductions of my special guests. So so first, um, I want to talk about the topic, and the topic is something that if you've been watching my channel for any number of months, basically you know that am notorious for a particular statement, and that particular statement is that I believe that black culture is trash. And not only do I believe that black culture is trash, but I believe that black culture is something that people need to divest from, and not just divest from it, but it's something that needs to be completely destroyed and created again from the ground up. That's my position. Why do I believe that black culture is trash? I believe that black culture is trash because I believe that black culture celebrates and champions the things that are the worst for it. They champion and celebrate the worst people, and they exhibit and champion and celebrate the worst behaviors that are the worst for it. Meanwhile, shunning, rebuking, and just all around, just basically just trying to destroy anything that might be presenting an alternative take, or maybe might potentially do it some good. They don't care about that. All they care about is just living in the moment, having their fun, and at the end of the day, it's a culture that lives and wants to destroy itself. And that's what I believe. So, and I've always said that, and I feel like I've always stood behind it, and I've provided a lot of evidence on that position. Now, that being said, it's a hot take, it's a controversial take, and it's a controversial opinion. A lot of people agree, a lot of people disagree. I've heard a lot of disagreements, and I believe that people get tired of hearing one person talk or one person give their opinions on stuff. So I want to open the floor up, and this is especially good because I know for a fact that there are going to be some points where me and you where we do agree and we disagree. So I'm really looking forward to the parts where we disagree because I feel like that's where the real discourse and that's where the real conversation comes from. So based on what I said so far, I guess my first question to you is, do you agree with the statement that black culture is trash?
No, I do not agree on the statement black culture is trash. My supporting reasons for that is that yes, yes, we struggle as a black culture, but who's perfect? You can't name me not one person that is perfect. Yes, we do celebrate the downfalls of, I'm gonna be honest, downfalls of a lot of accomplishments, and I might have made that word up, but we do celebrate a lot of negative things that's going on in this world. But there are other things that actually are positive that we don't celebrate, or they're not acknowledged, that are not publicized, that are not in the social media, that are not in your face. Those are the things that I can say that black culture is real, that black culture is every day, that black culture actually is expanding. Yes, we do have these apples that fall off the tree that are pretty rotten, and they rotten these other apples around the tree. But then we got this other side of the tree that actually does have very fruitful apples that actually disperse really great seeds, and they actually make sure that the next apple, next tree, disperse very helpful and fruitful as well. So I
Okay.
don't agree that black culture is 100% like trash. No, I believe there are certain parts of black culture that is specifically trash.
Okay. So I'm pretty sure I'm pretty sure you have other points, but just to keep it concise, and let's focus on this point right here, right? So so basically, if I'm hearing you correctly, your position is that even though there are some bad aspects of black culture, that it shouldn't overshadow, or shouldn't basically cancel out all the good and all the great that comes from black culture, right? That's
Exactly.
okay.
Exactly.
Okay, so my question to you would be, say for instance, right? Say for instance, you were going to this bakery, right?
Mhm.
And on this bakery, it's this you're going to this baker because he's the most famous, the most amazing, most talented baker in the world. He makes the sweetest cake. It's the softest. The icing is perfect. Everything about his cakes are perfect, and there is no flaw whatsoever. Okay,
Sure.
everything about his cake is just the perfect cake. But he serves that cake out to you on a platter that's full of feces,
Mhm.
like full of feces. It's just
Like
all
poop.
around that beautiful cake.
Mhm.
Are you still gonna want that cake?
Absolutely not. No. And I'm going to tell him about himself.
Oh, but
I'm
but
going
I'm
to tell him,
saying, are you, so but you're not gonna eat that cake,
yeah.
right?
No, I'm not going to eat that cake.
So what's the difference with
Um,
black
yeah.
culture and the cake?
The difference between black culture and cake is the fact that he served me a platter of feces. Now, he, to me, disrespected me individually. For me, for you to be this known person, that you this top guy, you known for your cake being amazing. You are this guy. You are very popular. You are this. You up there. But you give me a cake of feces. You directly said, "Hey, Aaron, you full of shit." But you got other plates back there that's clean. You got other plates back there that your dishwasher took the time out to wash twice.
No, he
You
serves
got
every
other
every
plates back
he
there that
serves
you
every single plate the same. He serves it full of feces, every single plate.
if he
It's
serves
part of
every
it's part
single
of his
plate full of
delivery.
feces, I don't understand.
It's part of his
I don't
delivery.
understand how, but I don't understand how he's this popular then. So like what I'm saying is that if this is a part of his delivery, how can he be this popular? How can he be this expert on serving me this plate? Is it just a display? Are you just showing me that okay, you can be the best? bakery that you could be in on media. You can be the best baker as a picture, be in magazines, but you can't eat my cake until you eat the feces. That's what I'm getting at.
Right. So that's
So
what I'm
if
saying. But
you're
what's
telling
the
me that, yeah,
yeah? So what's the difference
yeah,
between that and black culture? What's the difference?
the only difference is delivery.
No, it's not. If
Delivery.
it's still if it's if black culture, if the bad in black culture, if black culture is this gem, you know what I'm saying? Because I think we both can agree that there are some good positive aspects of black culture, right? I think we
Yeah,
both can agree with that, right?
yeah,
But
that's the
if it's
cake.
surrounded by so much trash and so much garbage and so
Hmm.
much just the vilest, worst things that people have been ever that people basically haven't seen since like Sodom and Gomorrah level bad. Like the, if that's what you're telling me, like that's what I'm saying. What's the difference? What's the difference?
Yeah.
If black culture is this perfect cake, but it's
Mhm.
surrounded by so much trash and so much why would people still want to be a part of that? Why would people still want to eat that? Why would people
Mhm.
still want to ingest that? Why would you still be willing to consume it? Because people
Mhm.
because in the situation with the cake, people are obviously still going to him if he's the most famous baker, right? So they're obviously willing to endure eating that feces, right?
Ideally.
So
But again, it goes back to this though. But it goes back to this. If he's only delivering the shit like black culture, if you're only delivering the shit of black culture,
let's
that's
try
all
to
you're
keep
gonna
the
get first.
cussing at a minimum just a little bit, for the
Oh,
YouTube.
my apologies, my
YouTube
apologies.
is
If
because
you're
of
only
YouTube.
delivering the oh yeah, I got you. If you're only delivering
If
the
it happens, it
feces,
happens. But you know what I mean. Just try to
yeah,
be you know.
I have more to say. So if you're only delivering the feces, and that's the first thing that you see is the feces. When it's go back to you need to clean up off away from people. You need to clean up behind doors. So you need to go back in there, like, and this is just my agreement when it comes to black coach. You need to go back in the house, clean up, and then come back out clean, come back out polished, so
Well,
that we can be presented as this polished cake. Even though the foundation of this cake was delivered as who, that doesn't mean that it can't be clean. That's what I'm saying.
so you
It
telling me
doesn't
you
mean
gonna
that
you
it
you
can't be
telling
clean.
me you gonna go through the trouble of rinsing off a cake that got crap on it?
I'm saying that I will go to the trouble to take that bad boy to the dishwasher, clean it up, go through the process of making sure it's empty, disinfected, and then you're gonna build this cake again. And you're gonna put this cake on this plate, clean, and you're gonna present it to me. And you're gonna do this for the rest of the time being.
You don't think that's kind of
That's how you fix it.
idealistic?
That's the idea. And that's the idea. Don't can't say that it's again, it goes back to no one's perfect. No one's perfect at all. You may come across one that is a little bit smidged or completely dirty. Doesn't mean you got to take it. You send it back. You send it back in the kitchen. Hey, this plate was dirty. I need a new one. All right, come back with a whole new plate, whole new polish, whole new piece of cake. Now I can eat that cake. Now that cake is popular. Now I can leave a good review. Well, I'm gonna leave a slightly okay review because he had to go back in and polish that cake. But I'm still gonna mention the fact that he went in and did something for me
Bruh, stop the
and
cap.
him
Oh my
to
god,
help.
you're not gonna eat that
No
cake.
cap.
Stop it.
I am gonna eat that, but I am. But that's the thing. That's what I'm saying, and that's one thing that us as Black culture do. We give up on each other too quick. Too quick. You don't even give a chance to even fix the mistake.
I think that okay, that might be fair, but like I said, you not gonna eat the cake, bro. You not gonna eat the cake. Like I'm sorry, you not gonna eat the cake.
That's cap.
You gonna leave the restaurant. You gonna
That's
walk
cap.
out. You gonna walk out. You gonna be like what the French toast is this, and you gonna walk out the restaurant. You know you are. or you gonna walk out the baker shop. You know you are.
Me being the gentleman that I am, just the way that I am, I'm just a person that always believe in chances. You know, me, I'm gonna say something. Like I see this brother, he working, he has something amazing here at this foundation, but you serving on some dirty plates, bro. You could do better than that.
Right, it's part of his
I
presentation.
know, but I know we don't come from a silver spoon, bro. We come from a used fork, trying to eat cereal with a used fork. You feel me? But I ain't judging you from it. You could go back and clean that used fork and turn it into a spoon or something, or switch it for a spoon. You got this whole building. You got all these fans and all these people, all these reviews for a reason. So why don't I spit game to you real quick, so I can tell you like, hey, bro, this ain't all right. Can you go back and fix it? And I will sit here and wait for that next piece of cake. Now, after that, and you bring me back the same plate with the same feces, now then I gave you my try, I gave you a tip, now I'm leaving.
That's black culture. That's black. That's literally black
No,
culture.
that
Anybody that's
but
ever
that's not
tried to,
that's
anybody that's ever tried to get the man to clean to clean the cake, they've always ended up they've always ended up doing them like that. What do you like? Come on,
I can't say that because I cannot say for 100%. Now it goes
name me
to, you
one
know,
person that has benefited in life from black culture.
me. What you
No,
mean?
I'm talking about like a person that
Celebrity.
like a actual like I'm talking about I should have been more specific. I mean like a person like on like a Malcolm X, a Martin Luther King,
Hmm.
somebody like on that level, like Al
Hmm.
Sharpton, somebody like that. Now, well, let me preface that because somebody like Al Sharpton, they benefit from black culture, but it's from exploiting black people. So I'm talking about like people like the Martin Luther Kings and the Malcolm X's, people like
Here we
that.
go. I got you.
Yeah.
Oh, I got you. I got two, and everybody should know this if you paid attention in school. First one for me is Booker T. Washington. Period. Booker T. Washington came from slavery, bro. He came from eating chitlins not willingly. He came from being a whole dirty to changing up the game, going to schools, being a professor, starting up new schools, bringing black kids in, building a new school, went through the whole struggle in the hood, in the ghetto. Brought these kids out of the ghetto to get an education, to be in a suit and tie like I am right now. Web the Bowles did the same thing. He came, now I ain't gonna fake it. Now, my guy came in a little higher class than Booker T, but doesn't mean he came from the ghetto as well, bro. He gave them kids a shot. He said, "Hey, this is education is knowledge. Education is key. Learn something. Go to school. Learn something. Fix your stuff up. Polish up. You polish up and come back and see me." They came back and see him. Look, now they got jobs. Now they starting other places. Now they starting other businesses. Now they
Say who
are
you said again.
inventors. Now they are famous writers.
Say the second
But
person you said again.
those are examples of. Say it again.
I said, can you say the second person you said again?
Yeah, that's Web the Bowles. I'm
Web
not
the
saying his
Boss.
name.
Uh,
Hmm.
yeah, I kind of know what you're talking about.
Web the Bowles was,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? Web the Bowles was he was another one that was like Booker T. Washington. He believed that education was key. And he believed that that's how we are going to succeed as a black society, through education. So he encouraged, and not only encouraged, but he brought black people to the colleges to study, to these HBCUs that the white man technically owned. But he brought them there, gave them that education, helped them with that education, so that these black people can come out of the ghetto and actually polish up from their feces plate and be that masterpiece cake to the world. Not only just to see, but to digest of the things that they say. They don't look like they don't look like how they don't sound like how they look. Just like how the cake would be. The cake look good, but does it taste good? I mean, you got feces around it, so I'm assuming it don't taste good. Go ahead and polish up. Go ahead and learn how to be a cake. Learn how to be a delicious cake. And then come back to me and have a with a polished plate and let me indulge of what you taste like in that reference.
Now, you don't think that some people just beyond help?
I know that I will definitely agree on. Some people, I can't say
When
definitely,
I
but
say
some
some, I
people
mean the
are.
majority. When I say some, I mean the majority.
It be more of it's more of you have to help yourself. We can do all the things we can for people, but I'm
Majority of
not
people
about to
don't
break
know they need
that
help.
to help you. And that's true. Majority do need help. But it's up to them
No, I'm saying
to
they don't
actually
even
get
know
that.
that they need help.
And I have to mention this. That's where I will agree on when I say black people do not take enough accountability for their own doing. That I definitely can agree on. They don't take accountability that they do need help, that they may be this way or this way. I'm gonna be honest. It does the way that you are raised does affect how you are now. Where your people come from, and them people come from, and them people come from. If you don't get a higher education, and you only talk to the people that's in front of you that raised you up in your house and in the neighborhood, yeah, you're gonna learn from them and listen to them and do what they do. And they didn't have help to get to. So now they gotta help themselves. Now that we have the resources, these people do not even look for these resources. These
Now,
people don't even, and then now people are reaching out to them. These people have the pride to say, I need help.
see, but like it's funny. It's funny like that you would say that though, right? Because like, say for instance, right? You know how you brought up like like our peoples and stuff like that, right? So say
Mhm.
for instance, if my peoples they come from the hood, just like a lot of other peoples came from the hood, right? But because my
Mhm.
people decided that what I'm saying that they wanted to raise their kids differently, you know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Like black culture by definition is always gonna look at me and kids like me like squares or whatever like that. That's black
Mhm.
culture. That and you know what I'm saying? That's not just some a perfect example of it. We saw it with the King, the Ti. Remember Ti's son King, and they
Mhm.
had that incident where he was getting into it with them because they were basically telling him that he was a gated kid, and
Mhm.
they were like, you from the like you wasn't out here like that. He was like, man, I was over my grandma's house. He was like, man, I was out in the bando. I was like, I ain't want to be in the gated community. I wanted to be in the streets. He wanted to be in the streets, and the reason why he wanted to be in the streets was because black culture tells you that you're not respected unless you not from the streets, and
Mhm.
that's what I mean. So it's like when you weigh all these different factors, when you weigh the lack of education, when you weigh
Mhm.
the lack of political awareness, the lack of any type of positive image, the lack of any type of positive role model, the lack of any type of standard amongst your people, like I mean like just a cultural and ethnical standard. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like people just you know what I mean? It's just like it's just insane. You take all these different factors and you put that around the little bit of good that black culture is, which I mean, okay, we could say creative, intuitive. You know what I'm saying? Um, it's just I'm just saying that when you really look at it, it's I don't think that it's fair to be like, oh, just because you're some good that the fact that you're still behind everybody else should be excused.
Mhm.
Especially when you're the one going around crying victim and talking about what the white man doing and the white man doing this and the white man doing this when most of the time black people can't even get on the same accord unless it's against the white man.
Mhm. Yeah, and I'm not gonna lie to you. That is, I agree on that. I mean, how couldn't we all be on the same accord properly without saying anything else besides the other race? Why can't we come together as a race and fix ourselves first?
Because every
You know,
time
why is it that
no, my bad, my
well,
bad.
why is it that we no, you're okay. No, you're okay. But why is it that we we do have these faults in what we hear, and why is it that we do want to be respected by only the streets? I'm gonna be honest. It's that lack of it's a lack of being it's a lack of being a family at home. It starts off at home. I'm gonna be point blank clear to you. Like you said before, our parents got us out of the hood to get us a better education, to do better by us, for us. And since we are doing this, it was really our choice to really accept it. Even though we are millennials, really, we didn't really have a choice, or we was hung by our necks. You know, our people didn't play that. But at the same time, it was up to us to be receptacle about what we learned at school and going to school and not going to school. But we chose the route to go to school and get that education. We chose the route to do these things. We chose to be different instead of being like everybody else. Because we saw how being like everybody else get where being everybody else get. And it ain't nowhere positive. I mean, yeah, we all saw it. When you from the streets, you get respected at that moment and that day. But this is the funny part. Remember this too. That next day, if you got disrespected, oh, that's a wrap, bro. You don't get your respect back. The only way you can get your respect back by doing something outrageous, outlandish. And you gotta do something outlandish to the point where it can get you incarcerated for years, maybe never get out. So we chose to be different. We chose to just be ourselves and be happy with being ourselves. So I can't say that black culture is the only one that did that. We were just known for that because we were only focused on that way. We were only publicized as that way.
You
They
don't
didn't
think that that's
publicize
a
the other side of us actually reading books. Yeah.
but you don't think that the fact that that's what's publicized and that's what we're known for. You don't think that that just goes to just prove that my point that it's trash.
No, I believe that it's not the fact that we are known for that, to be honest. It's what who is publicizing us and what they are saying first. I could, for
So who's
instance, let's go back to the
publicizing us
guy with
then?
the cake. Well, let's go back with the cake, right? Let's go with the guy with the cake. The guy with the cake, he got this infested plate with this beautiful cake. And for real, they can publicize this cake and only show the cake. And now everybody's like, ooh, this cake is amazing. But then who is the real publication or the people that are publicizing? They're trying to make sure that this person is seen in his light, right? Ooh, But then when you see them in reality, it's a whole different picture because you didn't see the base of that plate. Now, since you're seeing it in person, it's totally different than what you saw, what was publicized. Going back to the example with black people, with black culture, we are seen so by the people who is presenting us. It wasn't just us that was presenting us. Now you know this. It wasn't just us presenting us because
Nah, I
we didn't even have
100%
the
disagree.
option to do so. But it wasn't just us presenting us. We didn't even have the option to do so. Who was presenting us was somebody else that wasn't us. And now since that was publicized, since that wasn't us, we are now have to prove ourselves that okay, this is what we are. This is not what you see. It's not what you see. We are who we are. Come check us out. Come talk to us.
I think that might have worked 100
But
years ago,
they
but
come talk to you like, nah, I saw this on the media. I ain't trying to do this. I saw you talking, you gangster rap. I don't trust that. I don't think you trustworthy. But you don't even know the person in reality. You don't even know the person. You don't even know the person's real name. It's all about presentation and delivery. Someone else is representing us. Why is someone else representing us? Why can't we represent our own selves?
I
Why can't
think
they figure us? Why can't they meet us and know us from the inside instead of outside looking in?
I 100% disagree. I think that 100 years ago, maybe 200 years ago, I think that that excuse would have worked. I think that black people now represent ourselves 100%. And do you know how I'm gonna prove that? I'm gonna prove that. You know how you gave two
Sure.
examples, right? You know you gave two
Mm-hmm.
examples of people that were like positive role models that benefited from black culture.
Mm-hmm. Booker T,
Right.
Washington, and Web Du Bois.
All those people were very like long time ago, right? Give me
Mm-hmm.
two people right now that have benefited, and I'm gonna say this very specifically, okay? I mean, two people in the last 100 years, the last 100 years that have benefited from investing their life into black culture, specifically black culture, the fight for black culture or the plight for black culture.
Two people that have benefit from black
Yes.
culture.
I'm talking like people like the Darren Seals of the world. You know what I mean? Those type of people,
Mm-hmm.
the Black Lives Matter activists. Nah. You know, people like that. But you know, the Al Sharptons, the Jesse Jacksons, the Muhammad Ali. You know what I'm saying? Somebody like that. Anybody. Give me somebody.
Ranks. Hold on one moment. Let me make sure I get this guy name right. I know exactly. I gotta get his name right. His last name's Franks, and I met him actually in person. Representative too.
Oh, you talking about Bruce Franks?
Bruce Franks. That's one. And I met him in person. He's a representative now for what? Is it in Missouri?
I thought he was.
It's
He
congressman.
got it back.
I don't know. I don't know. I didn't follow that. But that's one. My guy got tattoos everywhere too, you know what I mean? But when you meet him in person, oh dog, he don't look like how he look. He don't look like how he sound. The guy's a real cool guy, man. When I seen him around, I always walk up to him, shake his hand because he still remembers my face. I probably don't remember my name. He remembers my face. But my brother benefited a lot from, especially the Black Lives Matter, because he was one of the activists that was out on the front line. Now my guy is in office. He's a congressman. Well, I can't say right now. Was the congressman. So that's just one.
Yeah, you might get mad at me, but I have a real big disdain for Black Lives Matter. I'm gonna just be honest with you. I have a real big
I'm
disdain.
with you on that one. I'm with you on that
Yeah,
one too.
yeah, they ripped a lot of people out of a lot of money. So yeah, it's really not funny.
Yeah, yeah. That it. My opinion on that is a little different. So, but I'm going to stay focused on the black culture part.
Yeah, I hear you.
Uh,
I hear you.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So to name a second person, I'm gonna be bless you.
Appreciate it.
Um, the name of second person. Now this is just I gotta really look like
And I
really
just
think
want to
about this.
point out that Bruce definitely looked a lot more stressed out since he took that job. Just want to say that.
Of course, but he definitely benefit for actually representing us. I mean, like you talking about continually to
That's
represent
fair.
and
I mean,
continue
that's fair.
to. I mean, anybody that goes in office, do you look at them Congress people? They all wrinkled, they all grayed out, they look stressed out because they got a lot to deal with. I would be too if I had to deal with all that, which is why I won't. You know what I'm saying? But I can't. I'm gonna be honest, bro.
That was. I
Like,
mean, that was a good one. You don't got to give me a second one if you don't need to. Yeah,
yeah,
but
I'm gonna give you a second because that was my guy.
yeah, that was a good one.
So, you
But
know.
yeah, yeah. Like I said, man, I just don't know. I don't know.
Can I mention something about what you said about Ti son being in the gated community?
Oh yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, with that one, that's like the same thought. Like, we in St. Louis, we in North County. That's like the kid, the
Don't
guy,
dox us
everybody
though.
that's come.
Don't dox us. Never mind. I'll just cut that part. Damn, I can't cut that out. It's live.
I mean,
Don't dox us.
I'm just saying, I'm proud of where I'm from, but from our city, when people are coming from the city and they move to the county, they want to be different. They wanna be this hood like thing in this county where the suburbans are and where the big houses is. Your parents got a Mercedes and they work corporate, but you turn it out to be more hood like you from the city, like you are from the city, but you are trying to represent gangs in the county, in the suburbs, where your next door neighbor is a Caucasian, or your next door neighbor is actually Arab, because that's who really was living out here, or Indonesian, or I'm saying, I'm sorry if I say their oh my god,
Ethnicity.
ethnicity. Thank you, ethnicity incorrectly, but it were different. It was not just, it wasn't black, that many black people out here, but yet when you came out here in the suburbs, you were not hood. That's the same idea of T.I.'s son. He been somewhere else and he want to be something different because he feel like he's going to be respected being somewhere different,
Oh,
but
why?
except, and that's going back to what you said before about it starting at home, and you got to fix at home. The reason why he wants to do that is
But
because
why do
that's
you
what
have to fix at home though? Why?
because that's what he believes in. That's what he sees on social media. That's what he sees his dad
And
did.
what is
That's
the
what he sees his
social media?
mom do.
What does the social media represent? What is what he sees
That
on social media? What does that represent?
that represents a platform of misrepresentation of black culture.
How is it a misrepresentation? It sounds like that is black culture.
It's a misrepresentation because it only shows one side of black culture.
No, it doesn't.
That does.
How?
When we see something good, because you mentioned something too. When we saw something good, like we don't, when we see like, for instance, we graduated with a person that he aced the SATs. This dude was freaking amazing, a genius, black boy from the county. He went to any school. He went to MIT. Was that publicized? I think not. But when the kid, what was that? When I think they found a girl deceased somewhere else, and it was blamed because another brother had did this to this girl. That was publicized everywhere, everywhere, everywhere.
Who did the publicizing though?
I can't say specifics
The
because
culture.
no, that's the thing. How can the culture have done this if they're not even in charge of these
Who
platforms?
says that they're not? That's the thing. That remember if you remember. Okay, see. Okay, I'm gonna try not to black out. Okay, okay. Listen, because I said this before. Black people are some of the most victim minded people that you'll ever see in the world, because it's like they've never been more free, never been more powerful, never been more equal to the white man. In some cases, more superior to a lot of these white people. A lot of the average blacks are superior to a lot of these white folks. It's a lot of poor white folks. Guess what? It's a decent amount of middle class black folks. Black folks are more powerful now than they've ever been, and they're the weakest. They the weakest, and it's so frustrating. So, like, no, who told you that you don't have the control?
You
Who
know,
told you
it's
that?
it's not who told me. It's what's shown. Now think about this. Think about this. Think about this. Let me ask you this
These
question.
people live in y'all head rent free, man. They like these white people just run y'all, and I don't
Let
get
me
it.
ask you this question. Let me ask you this question. I feel like I know the answer already because I've been watching your page, bro. You are awesome, bro. I love your opinion because you let it be real. You know what I'm saying? You've always been this real person, my brother.
I
Since from day
appreciate
one.
that.
So when I ask you this question, what if when let me ask, when you get to this class of high middle class, are you gonna go back to your community and help,
Hell
or are
no.
you exactly? Are you gonna do your own thing and be more secluded to yourself?
I'm gonna get a tribe. It's gonna be a tribe of people, and it's gonna be people that I bring with me. But
Hmm.
it's not gonna be no dead weight. Noah's Ark ain't for
Hmm.
everybody.
Hmm.
100%. Noah's Ark ain't for everybody, and you know what
Yeah.
I'm saying. And
So
that's why it's like
yeah.
when I can put people on, or when I can spread game when I can, then yeah, of course. But
Mhm.
am I gonna sit there and be like invest in my life or trying to still live in the hood? If I want hit the lottery, right? You think I'm gonna still be or still be living in North County? Like, you know what I'm saying? You didn't already doxed us, so you know what I'm saying. You still think I'm gonna be in North County? So you know what I'm saying? No. I'm gonna be out somewhere where nobody knows where I'm at, because you know why? Because the same people that look like me are the same people that are gonna try to take what I got. The minute I get something, they're gonna try to take it.
They not the only one that's gonna take it, brother. Anybody that ain't got that gonna try to take it from you. If they got the access to do it, they gonna do it. So it ain't just black culture. So that's the only point of finger. But that's exactly what I'm getting at. Is that you would rather be secluded to yourself in your own tribe, and you don't want to create that bridge for anybody to get to, not just black people, anybody. So no, you won't help out the neighborhood. What you probably would do is probably drop a turkey and say, eat, right? You
No,
know what I'm saying?
I mean,
But you won't probably even do that. You just stay over here and mind your business. That's what these middle class are doing. They are doing exactly what you're saying. And they ain't being publicized. They ain't being nothing on media. They chilling. They doing what they do. They're not making a difference from what is going on. They're making a difference in their home. And
no, they're
it's
not.
not being known
They're
or it's not
not.
being shown, but only the things that's being shown is what's going on out in these streets, out in the neighborhoods, out in the community.
They,
You know what I'm saying?
they not. They not making a
Exactly.
difference in the home, and that's the problem. That's the problem.
But that's what I'm saying. You are only seeing that side,
No, I'm
that
not. Like,
side of the tree.
think about it like this. Think about it like this, right? Most most dads, most dads locked up on child support. Locked up, dead on child support. That's most dads. The ones that ain't, that's this is what
Yeah,
we're
I'm
talking
good.
about. This is what we're talking about here. And I'm just
Mhm.
saying, like, I'm yeah. What was you about to say, man? Just I'm not.
No, you're okay. I'm actually about to Google this percentage. What is the percentage of black fathers on child support? Let me see. Let's see. Minority. I just want to see. Can it give me a Google answer? They can't even give me a Google answer. Sure. Okay. So let's see here. That is a lot. I will definitely say. I don't want to go too deep into the source if I should. But right now, that was the first thing I asked was Google. Google, what's the percentage of black fathers paying child support? They said 70% of fathers, at least one child under 19 contributes child support of their children. 9% of fathers contribute once in a while, and 50% not contribute at all. Is it possible that I can use like a restroom break?
Oh yeah, go ahead, bro.
All right, one moment.
Go ahead. Oh, yeah. Yeah, guys, I'm gonna be honest. Be honest, I like me. I just feel like I just feel like it's no way. It's no way. Most a majority of men. First of all, it's not even that. It's not even that many fathers in general. So it's just like, come on. It- it's like, yeah. I don't know. I don't know. It's like there's a lot of there's a lot that we gotta go on, but I don't want to go on without him. But it's just like when you look at the stats are gonna back up that just in general the black family structure is just trash. Oh, he's back. He's back. Good. Okay. So
Yeah.
yeah, so basically what I was just saying is that it's like when you look at the stats, you know what I'm saying? You know, shame on me for not being more prepared, but whatever. I'm doing this off the top of my head. But a
Mm.
majority of the stats, a majority of the stats point to the fact that there aren't a lot of men that actually are fathers right now. Right now, we're at an extremely high incel epidemic worldwide. There's an incel epidemic. Okay, that means that there's an epidemic of men who are involuntarily celibate. You know what I mean? That means that they can't get the coochie. Okay, you know what I'm saying? That means that's one problem. So it's not that many dads running around here in the first place, okay? A majority of the women are sharing baby daddies. Number 3, all the stats point to a universal fact, and that universal fact is that regardless of however angle you approach it, the black family structure is trash. And if everything goes back to the home, guess what? We look at the home because a lot of okay, you know what? Let's really break this down. Let's really break this down, right? So let's take this back to, let's say, the baby boomers, right? Yeah, let's take it back to the baby boomers.
The 50s. Come
The
on, 50s.
baby boomers. The baby boomers wrecked the country. The hippies, all them, they wrecked the country, okay?
Baby boomers and hippies.
Yeah, baby boomers and the hippies, those two eras, they wrecked the country.
Agreed.
Eras of sexual exploration, of freedom, of breaking the mold, of rebel culture, all this
Yeah.
stuff, wild lifestyle, druggy lifestyle, all that stuff. Those era, you got that era, like I said, the hippie era. Then you got
Mm.
generation, the baby boomers who decided that they were going to rebel against everything that their ancestors and the people before them had decided to do, and they decided that they were going to be different. They went and they created this snowball effect, which led to Generation X. Which Generation X was the generation which is like the millennials. That's the millennials role model. And a lot of Generation X and millennials are the ones that are the parents of the kids that are causing the most destruction and the chaos now. So what we have now, we have a lot of kids raising kids. A lot of people from Generation X, like I said, they were in jail and incarcerated. Crime bill. Thanks, Bill Clinton. You know what I'm saying? Thanks, Joe Biden. But um you got the crime bill. So you got all these men that are incarcerated from Generation X. You got all these men that basically the millennials grow up without fathers, so they trying to figure it out. So they raising kids that without any kind of real know-how how to do it themselves, and they creating little monsters. And I hate to say it, but you was gonna say something?
Hmm.
Yeah, what?
I don't want to interrupt your red
Too late
because
now.
you.
Yeah, but I'm just saying though, like when you look at it, it's like it all boils down to the family structure. So all of it points to the fact that there's a trash family structure. And when you look at the studies, when you look at science, when you look at the data back science, studies show that usually children that are raised in two-parent households with in a stable environment, those children tend to succeed better. We notice
That's a
that,
fact.
and we notice that it's like, I think it's like a 6 times multiplier. It's like they're 6 times less likely to go to jail, 6 times less likely to flunk out of school. You know what I mean? And of course, there's gonna be outliers and exceptions, but at the end of the day, if we know what works, and then we know when in history people started rebelling against what works, you can't sit there and say that, oh, the culture isn't trash, because guess what? Even if at a time it wasn't trash, we're talking about now. And right now, the youth are the representation of the culture. The music is a representation of the culture. The media is a representation of the culture. What's on TV is a representation of the culture. What's on radio is a representation of the culture. So at the end of the day, all those things are the culture. And you can't just sit there and just ignore the fact that that is the loud part of the culture, just because there's some good things about it too. That's all I'm saying.
Understood. Let me ask this question. Before, well, before I ask this question, I just want to throw this fact out there. Is that what I looked up was not just in black fathers. That was in fathers, not specifically black. That's all fathers. So I looked up percentage of white fathers that pay child support. Specifically white fathers. It says 50%, 54%
Well, you know
of
it's more
white
than that
fathers
though, right?
reported that they pay child support.
You know they
Is
make up,
that?
but you know they make up like almost 60% of the population, though, right? Black people
Uh,
make up like 13% of the population.
so if they make up 13% out of the 76% of the fathers that to pay child support, 50% of them white, that leaves 26% of black or other ethnicities.
Yeah,
So we can't just point at our culture because we're not the only one that's
in
doing that.
proportion, in proportion, that number is high. It's in proportion.
But we're not the only. But what I'm getting at is we're not the only culture that's doing that. You know
But
what
we're
I'm
the
saying?
only ones that are affected.
We're the only ones that is publicized of it.
No, we're
That's
the
oh,
ones that
no,
are
because you
affected.
have the choice. You have the choice to look at what you want to look at. And just like everybody else, everybody have the choice to look at what you want to look at. You choose the more entertaining thing than the more educational thing. If reading a book ain't entertaining, you ain't gonna look at it. But you know it's good for you. But you ain't gonna look at it. Now somebody getting beat up, you gonna look at it because it's entertaining to you.
You know, you
That's entertainment in general. That's media.
you know in other
Everybody's gonna
cultures,
look at it.
like I said, because we're talking about cultures, right? In other
Hmm.
cultures, they don't care about what's fun. Their parents make them read. Their parents make them do things like that.
Because other cultures don't have a democracy. What other cultures have democracy? If you come from
What are you
Asian,
talking
like
about?
Chinese, well, just saying,
When
just
they
saying.
come over here, they live in a democracy. What are you talking about?
But
They
they
have
still
free
have the,
will.
but they come from the culture where it ain't democracy. This is what you do. This
And
is
that's
what you're
actually
going
not
to
true.
do.
That's actually not true. Most of them, they have a form of democracy. A lot of those other places.
Name me one.
Yeah. What do you mean they vote on presidents and they have prime ministers and all that kind of stuff? It's, I said a form of democracy. I didn't say all of them have a democracy, but
Most of them are not canalized, but
communists.
most,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
m-
That's what I'm saying. But I mean,
most of them have a
it's
regular leader like a emperor or a king or like you said, a prime minister.
yeah.
Most
I
of them
mean
have,
that's different than communism,
but that's what they come from. That's what their culture come from. They come here to be free, but they still bring that culture with it, not knowingly.
Yeah,
but
but
they
they
do
have
it.
free will though.
They have free will to continue doing that culture because they say this is the culture that you live in. You are Chinese.
But
This is
some
what you
don't.
do. Most do. Most. Most. Just like if they were Arab, this is what you do. You are from Jordan. You stand by the Jordan way. African.
But look at the
You are
results.
from Nigeria. You stand by your ancestor.
Yeah, but look at the results.
They do well.
Exactly.
But we didn't
Why
come from
don't
that.
we?
Because we didn't come from that. We came from free will. All right, look, I'm gonna need you to go ahead and go read your book and I'm gonna come back and ask you a question, okay? 3 weeks later, did you read that book? Free will.
Okay, so like you basically just explain why the Western black is inferior to other blacks. So again, if we know that, then
I
if
gave a
we
bad example. I
yeah, but
gave a bad example.
I'm just saying though, if we know that, then why shouldn't we? Why wouldn't we
But I'm sorry.
take what works?
Yeah,
You know what I'm
and
saying?
but that's what I'm getting at. I think I gave a bad example, and I want to redo that example. It's more of this is what's on TV right now. I'm gonna pick up my remote and watch it. I'm gonna do my homework later. Okay, do your homework at this time. Free will. Come from another culture, you put down that TV, you put down that remote, go do your homework. You're not watching Mickey Mouse. You know what I'm saying?
And you better not get no
We
lip
we
either.
we're raised differently. Even though we're in this free country, we're raised differently because we do have different cultures. But our culture was based off of literally freedom.
But if we're at the bottom,
We are at the bottom.
yeah, we are. I just
We
seen a
are at the bottom.
I
We
saw
are
a graph a couple weeks ago. I saw a graph a couple weeks ago, and Hispanics passed us up.
and then
Average income per household. That's what I meant.
but this is another question is who is voting for who is doing these
That don't got
calculations?
nothing to do with voting. That's just about how much people
Now,
bring in legally.
right, but who is doing these calculations? And
The
if you say the
federal.
government, if you say the government, I know for sure, they
Oh
are
God.
against us as black people.
The
For sure.
government is against us. Oh, this is about to go left. The government is against us as black people.
Now, but I will say this: you know that it goes back to how it used to be. And of course, I gotta relate back to the day because that's the truth. How it is that you talked about drugs being in the community in your last video. You know who put the drugs in the community, right? The government, and the
CIA.
government was
Yeah.
full of Caucasians. They
I think.
used that drug to,
You know what
and it
else it was
was,
full of? You know what else the government was full of?
they don't say black,
Capitalists.
but they were all Caucasian. Every single one of them, Caucasian.
But they were capitalists. They were trying to
They were
make money.
Caucasian.
They were trying to make
They were
money.
trying to make money. Exactly. They didn't care about what the culture was doing, except did it make them money?
But you said that
And
they're against black people. How can they
they
be against
are.
black people? They weren't doing that because they weren't doing that because they were against black people. If that was the case, then they would have made stuff that would kill black people. No, they were trying to make
No.
money.
Then why didn't they put it in another a white community? White people were snorting
White people
coke.
do drugs too. What are you talking about? They have
Yeah,
meth.
yeah, of course. But again, they put the cocaine in the black crack in the black community because they knew the black people was gonna make them money
Because
from it.
crack is cheap.
Exactly. And why we get the cheap stuff?
Because black people are broke.
That's what I'm saying now. And they knew that they would destroy the community, but at the same time, they're like, okay, don't worry about the community being destroyed as long as they make us money.
Because they're capitalists. That's what capitalists do. They don't care.
But that's
They
full of
trying
it.
to capitalize.
That's full of it. Which is how.
Maybe. I'm just saying. I'm just
But
saying, you
that's
said
how
that the
it is.
government is against black people. The government doesn't care about black people. The government
So
doesn't.
who do they care about white people more than black people?
They care about their interest.
Do they? But they do care about that. So their interest is more in white people, right? Less in Hispanics, less in foreigners, less in black people, but more in white people, right?
Say that one more time.
Yes, they care about white people more than black people, Hispanics, and foreigners. I gotta just say foreigners.
I don't think the
From
government cares about anybody that's not in a protected group. That means that if you're not gay, if you're not if you're not a woman, or you're not, if you're not an LGBT or elderly, then I don't think the government cares about you at all.
or color. Don't forget that. They come in threes.
But
If you're
your
not
argument
color,
is that they're against black people, so that
they
can't be
are.
true. That can't be true.
Exactly.
Two
They are. Color.
those two things can't be true at the same time.
They can be.
No, they
Now you can
can't.
put your,
They can't
they
care.
can,
They can't care about the interests of colored people and then be against colored people.
but that's where they grab what is it? The Democrats, because the Democrats care about people. That's where the party
Since
starts.
when? Since when?
That's what they do. They do
Since
everything for
when?
the people. Republicans is the one for the money. 100%.
Exactly, and the Republicans probably care more about you than the Democrats do. At
The
least the
pub the
Republicans,
Republicans care about
are honest. At least they're honest enough to tell you that, hey, I'm in for my interest, but hey, I'm not gonna get in your way of doing what you're trying to do.
yeah.
Democrats will sit there and piss on you and tell you that it's raining.
And I'm gonna say this right now. When it comes to that kind of party, I don't stand for any of those. I prefer to choose whatever I choose for that moment. Now, with that being said, for me, when it comes to the Republicans do that for the money because you're right. They are very honest about what they do. They're not going to say, I'm against you. No, 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 no. I don't see you. I see money. I want to make sure that this coming here, because if this comes here, this is going to make me money. So if this is what y'all doing and they're going to make me money, let's do it. Democrats, they're going to, okay, this is for you. This is for you. But we're going to do this for you, okay?
But
Don't
they don't
forget, this
actually
is for
do
you.
anything. They don't do anything for you, and that's the thing.
They
They
promise.
piss on you and tell you that it's raining because they don't actually do anything for you. They say that they're gonna do stuff for you, but guess what? We got 3 stimmies under Trump. We got 3 stimmies. How much money you got under Joe Biden?
Because Joe Biden is not really for the money, for the people.
No, he's
The dude,
Jesus
that
Christ.
no, I'm not, and I'm not saying that he was 100%. That's what he did. He did for the people. I'm saying that's all he focused on, just like Obama focused on the people. And Obama made sure he tried his best to make sure he had black people interests. He even went a whole nother 4 years because he was good for the people. But he was for the people. That's the thing. That's the difference. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. People and money. That both of that being said, them Democrats, they want to do right for us as people, and they try to make us live, try to make improvement, promises to our community, promises to our cultures, promise to make sure that we're okay.
But they never actually
But when it
fulfill the
comes to
promises.
Republicans,
What
if you
good
are
is
these three things,
what good is a promise if they never actually follow up on it? All they do is tell you sweet nothings. Honeyed words is what they
I
call
can't
it.
say that because ever since the Obamacare lasted after it was the promise. Even when he was not in the office, I mean, like, yeah, it did happen, but it didn't get like to the highest peak until he was out of the office.
But there are a lot of
That
people that
promise still followed
there are
through.
a lot of people that Obamacare caused more harm than it did good to.
I can't say anything about that because I don't know enough about it.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. So
I don't
that's what. But
know.
people like don't understand it. That like people don't understand that kind of stuff. Like yeah, that stuff is good. All this stuff that the Democrats say, yeah, it sounds good. It sounds great. But guess what? When you really look at it in practical, in a practical lens, it hurts people. It hurts people. And what they're doing is they whisper sweet nothings. So that's why I'm saying it again. They piss on you and tell you that it's raining. And that's what it is. And for some reason, y'all eat it up. And this is what I'm talking about when I talk about black culture. It's trash because you'll sit there and you'll defend them. You'll defend them. But these same people, you just said that Joe Biden is for black people when Joe Biden signed the same crime bill. Well, I was just talking about 5-10 minutes ago about he signed the crime bill talking about our uncles, our pops. He called them monkeys. He said he didn't want monkeys on the bus with his kids. That's what he
I
said.
need
He's for the
I need
people though.
proof.
He's for the
I
people
need
though,
proof.
right?
I need proof. I need
You
proof on
need
that one.
proof. I'm not for well, okay. You know, you know what? It's out there. It's out there. You know,
Yeah, I'll look it up. Yeah.
it's out there. It's out there. You know
I'll look
what?
it up for
You know what? You
you. Yeah.
want proof? You want? You want? You want?
Just
yeah.
send it to me. I mean,
You,
but
you want proof?
while you digging in that, like I said, I can't say much about that because I'm gonna be real quick too because I'm talking about these politics like like follow it, bro. I don't follow it. I'm gonna be honest. I don't on purpose. You know, I mean, it's not. I'm not. I'm not. I'm not. I don't on purpose. I only follow it enough for, and that's probably where I will say that we fall into because I'm gonna hold myself accountable for it. I don't follow it because it is a lot of bluff, and I follow it when it's time for me to um, understand the bluff. Like now, I'm getting older, bro, and I gotta do what's best for my little one. So now I gotta follow this information. Like I got to. I gotta figure it out. I gotta learn about it. I gotta hear about it. I gotta read on it. But when I was younger, bro, I didn't really care about it because it didn't I didn't personally feel that it even mattered to me. No matter what I could have done, it wouldn't even change anything different. Because of
Yeah.
the majority who does this, who does that. It was a whole belief for me. It was something I didn't follow. I couldn't deal with. I didn't want to do. You know. But I will say I take accountability because I did not choose to learn more into the politics.
But that's not
That was a
the.
little different.
It's not just that though. It's the fact that like I said, people specifically in the black community, they're so focused on self gratification and self pleasures. It's like
Mm,
it's like the fact that just because like you'll take a Joe Biden over a Donald Trump when Donald Trump literally gave you money
mhm,
and more people were making money. That's one thing. All like if you ask any black entrepreneur, that's one thing that they'll tell you. They were making money under Trump. So
mhm.
it's it,
I
it
actually agree
you
on
know what
that.
I mean? So it's like the people that actually benefit from it, they're not gonna be talking like that. But
Mm,
you know, they'll rather they'll say that and they know that. They know that they benefited more from that man. But because
mm.
Joe Biden doesn't say the openly mean things that Donald Trump did, or he doesn't offend them as much, now all
Right.
of a sudden, now it's like, oh well, Joe Biden is he's so great. No, he's not. He's senile. He's barely conscious half the time. He's barely conscious. He doesn't know where he is half the time. And I'm not trying to
Yeah.
be funny. I mean, like he really needs help. The man had
Yeah.
aneurysms. He's not there most of the time.
Yeah.
So it's like at the end of the day, we can sit there and we can go back and forth about politics at the end of the day. But like I'm just saying, it's like that that's the proof, because you'll literally rather that's what I mean when I say that you champion and you celebrate things that are the worst for you, because at the end of the day, Joe Biden is the one that sit there that thinks you're too stupid to go on the internet and be able to register for you know what I'm saying, for to get vaccinated. You know what I mean? It's all those types of things. Like, he said these things. He said them.
I can't disagree, or I can only listen and learn from what you are saying. Because I don't know. That part, I definitely chose to live under a rock, especially during this election, for Joe Biden and Trump. I didn't even vote for either one of them. But because I just didn't. I wasn't for any of it. All of it was BS for me. I just didn't. It didn't. I
And
didn't see the outcome
it was a pretty
of if
chaotic
I voted for
election.
this person or if I voted for that person. It
Yeah.
was, and after that, I'm the type of person I don't like conflict. I don't. If I could diffuse conflict, I would. But if there's no diffusion in that conflict, I'm gonna separate myself out of it. But that's just me as an individual. I don't like it. I don't. It was too much going on,
But
and
you
mm-mm.
but and that's where it becomes a issue of social responsibility to an extent, because I remember I used to always be one of those type of people that would be like, oh well, my ancestors, they didn't die for me. They didn't give their lives and sacrifice their lives so that for me to vote and all that kind of stuff. It was like they gave that for me to have the option to vote. But when you dealing with something as serious as who's gonna be making your laws, when you dealing with something as serious as who's gonna be representing your country, those types of things are serious. And when you really think about it, a lot of the issues that we have now are because people they don't know what they voting for. They don't know who they voting for. They voting for people because they black. I'll give you an example. Corey Bush, right? Corey Bush. They asked these type of people like Corey Bush to define what a woman is, right? And they can't give you a straight answer, right?
Mm-hmm.
These are a black woman can't answer what a woman is.
That's
Like,
outrageous.
think about that for a second. Like, really think about that.
Yeah. Oh, I definitely just did. And, I'm gonna be honest.
It
That is outrageous.
it was a it was a lady that they were trying to get into the Supreme Court. That black lady, they were trying to get her into the Supreme Court. They asked her, "What is a woman?" This is a lawmaker that everybody's rallying behind because she's a black woman, and she says, "I don't know. I'm not a biologist." But this is a lawmaker. But people will vote for her because she's black. They'll vote
Oh
for her
no.
because Charlamagne the God brings her on the Breakfast Club, and because she's black, they go along with it. And that's what I mean. It's chaotic, bro. Because you can't sit there and tell me that we're not that we, you can't hold some accountability for the state of the world we in right now. The fact that they think it's okay to put all this LGBTQ stuff in front of kids in school, that is a direct result of voting actions. People
Mhm.
people that are voted in are the people that are making and presenting these laws and allowing these things to happen. They're allowing
Yeah.
these and making these little changes that are allowing these influxes and these I guess loopholes in the system, and now they basically taking advantage of it. So at the end of the day, How are you not gonna sit there and say that black culture shouldn't be held accountable for that when black culture directly results in some of these same people being where they are and contributing to the downfall of not just the black community, but Western society as a whole? Because
Now I do
now,
agree. I do agree.
if
I
we're
do
being
agree.
honest, the actions of black culture don't just affect just black culture. It's gotten to the point where it spills out and it affects Western society as a whole.
So my question to you is, what do you think we should do to fix or to do better or to improve? What do you think we should do from this black culture that's happening right now?
Destroy it.
Destroy it. How
Absolutely.
so?
Divest and destroy. Divest and
How so?
destroy. No, literally, just destroy it. Forget about it. Act like it never existed. Shun people that continue to embrace it. Shame them. Bring back shaming. Make it uncool. Make it uncool to
To be
be with.
black.
No, yeah, no. Make it uncool
Yeah.
to be black culture because there's a difference between the black community and the black culture. There's a difference.
Okay.
We're not talking about the
Explain.
black
Elaborate.
community. The black
Elaborate.
community is the people in the culture.
That are black.
Yeah, they're the people.
Okay.
The
Now, what's the difference
culture
between the
is
culture?
what the people believe in. It's what the people live by. It's what they follow. It's what they do. That's the
Mhm.
culture.
So we should change. We should um, change up our own culture and create
No,
something different.
not even not change. Destroy the
I'm
current.
saying, I'm saying, as in what's going on right now, the culture that's going on right now, we should destroy and then create something new.
Yep. Yeah, 100%. Create something 100% new. Shame people that bring the old. Get rid of them.
So pretty much, you're
And I'm
saying
not talking
erase
about
history.
no. I gotta be clear about that because
Yeah, because you're
really
erasing
shouldn't have said
history.
that. Really shouldn't have said that. But I didn't mean it like that. I mean like just they Noah's Ark ain't for everybody. That means that you sit out in the rain. That's what I meant. When I say get rid of them, they gotta get out the boat. That's what I meant. My bad. I didn't mean to cut you
No,
off.
you're okay. But they get erased because no one talks about the land before Noah's Ark.
Nobody does because it doesn't matter.
Because exactly, they get erased. They get erased. So you're saying erase our that history, erase that history from where
Yeah.
we come from.
Yeah.
Erase it
Start
and
over.
start over.
Start over.
Woo!
Start over.
Woo!
Start over. Get rid of everything. It all has to
Mhm.
go.
Woo! Boy,
Get rid of everything.
boy.
Get rid of it. Nope. It can go. It can go. It's trash. It's trash. It's trash and it can go. It can go.
I get that.
Sorry.
I ain't gonna fake it.
Sorry.
That's strong. That's real strong.
Yeah,
So you
I
want to
mean it.
create something totally new,
Can
like
create something totally new. Neo black culture. Yep. Nope.
neo black culture.
Yep. Nope. The old can't exist anymore. It's a cancer. It needs to go.
What about the other cultures?
I'm not worried about the other cultures. I'm not anything but
I,
black.
but, but we are.
I
We are. You brought it up. We are black. Our culture affects the other cultures. So
yeah,
what
but
about
they
the other
not
cultures?
right.
If our black culture gets erased, what happens to the other cultures as well? Because our culture affects their culture. So what happens if our
I
culture
don't think
gets
it
erased?
affects it to the extent that black people think it does.
But what will happen?
Nothing. I think it'd just be like they'd be like, oh snap.
I disagree.
I think they'd be like, oh snap. I think it'd be like just like I think it'd be just like when you yeah, they'd be like, oh snap, and then they move on.
I disagree. I believe that what will happen is two things, only two ways, two directions. One, they would be fearful of us because we're starting over. And now they are realizing, like, hey, we know where we're at right now, and we know we can be this, we can be this. or we could be superior, or we could just all be cool.
Why do you
But
think
they,
that they care so much about whether
but hold on, let me finish. Let me finish. So either that of superior or scared. I mean, not scared, superior or be cool, or goes back to since they ain't got no history no more, we can give back our history and outpower their history because they started over anyway. So let's us reteach them. Hey, this is how the thing's been going now. So I want you to roll with us now. This is how we've been doing it. So you guys got to do it. Those two directions. Either you guys got you since you guys don't have history, this is what we've been doing, you do it, or we be superior or cool. Those are
Are you basically saying that they think that that black people are going to become the racist that black people claim that they are?
I don't know if that's a strong statement, but that's not what I'm directing to. I'm directing more towards superior or neutral
Well,
or
that's what racism is, believing
predominant.
that you're superior to another race. So if you so
Then
that's what
yes.
racism
Then
is
yes.
by definition. So
By definition, yes. Be more either racist from either our end or their end.
that's what I'm saying.
Or
That's why I was saying, why do y'all think that people care about how great y'all are?
it's not just that. Because some
No, it
people
is that.
don't care.
But no, it
You
is,
know,
and the
but
reason,
it's two sides. It's always two sides of the tree. It's always a light and a dark.
like I give you an example, right? Because I always love to ask people this because it always tricks them up because they always lie through their teeth every time. If you if you were to take black people and white people, right, and completely reverse their roles in life, completely reverse their roles. How many black people do you know, but not their experience? The experience is still happening. Everything still happening. You just now the black people just have the power now, and the white people don't have the power, quote unquote. Do you think that the black people would do the things that they think that the white people do to them?
From history, and then the role reverse.
Yeah.
Absolutely, actually,
Oh my
slavery was
goodness.
everywhere. Slavery was everywhere in the world, not just Africa or just our race. That happened everywhere. And then what is it when they give out a slavery and then we get amongst it, then we get what's it called? What's it? Reparation.
Yeah.
We get that reparation and we get that feel like we can finally get our payback from it, and we got the power to get our payback. Are we going? We that our race or the culture is going to go come back down and be like, hey, this is what you did for me, and I'm giving you this, and I'm giving you this. Some gonna be like, okay, we didn't want to do all that. It ain't even necessary. We're gonna be cool. You're gonna get like 10% of that. But the rest of the 90%, I'm gonna be honest. I feel like they would start looking down and giving back what was given to us, given to our race.
90.
Year 90, a lot of percentage. I feel that's what's gonna happen. Very strong on that. I ain't gonna say 100% because that's not gonna be true. You're gonna get that 10% that's gonna be like, all right, we cool. I'm like, it don't even matter. We just want to live, bro. You cool? We cool. Let's be cool.
Mm.
But them folks that back in the day and they stubborn and they stand on what they stand on and they mean what they say and say what they mean. I know, bro. They
I
coming down
think
heavy on that.
I think, like I said earlier, I think that the only time that you ever see black people unite together and work together without any types of issues is when it's against white people. Black people can hate each other, but if it's a
Mm.
white person that doing something to a white person, and black people are gonna put what they got against each other to the side, and they gonna work together to take down that white boy.
Mm. But that's only 90% of it, bro. Because see, you see, for example, and I can't give you like a exact example, but I can give you an idea. You see three black guys. You see two white boys. You see one get in the face of the other black boy. One of the black guys out of the three are talk conversate with the other white guy and get into altercation. A second black boy gets into it with the white boy that's with the black guy and joins in. Then the second white boy joins in. But you have that one last third black person that will be like, hey y'all, chill, 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 chill. But the other two are combative. But you got that one person to try to be that mediator. Always that 1%. That's five people there. Four people into it, only one person just trying to mediate. So
Yeah,
I don't believe 100% is going to happen. It's always going to be that 1%. Put a zero on it, 10% can happen. Out of 90 or whatever the percentage you want to give,
yeah. I
but
mean,
like 10%
yeah.
going to be there.
I don't think anything is like 100%. Like I speak in like generalities because like
Yeah.
you know what I mean. Like yeah, because nothing is like absolute. Like nothing, but
Yeah.
like
And then honestly, if you throw, spirituality, I ain't even going to say religion because that's a different thing. Spirituality in that can increase the numbers even higher. Spirituality don't have a color. You know what I'm saying? Because you don't have a color when you leave, whatever you believe in.
I mean, some people would do.
But whatever you believe in. And if you all believe in the same idea, those numbers are going to increase and decrease more and more and more. But it goes into that belief in, to be honest, I threw in spirituality because that's where we can all, as a population, agree on in a certain term. No matter if you white, black, Hispanic, short, tall, facial hair, no facial hair, long nose, short nose, a bunch of teeth, no teeth. You know what I'm saying? Y'all, it's all like the same idea. So why can't we be like what Bob Marley was saying? Why can't we smoke and just get along? Can that happen?
No, because black culture doesn't like to get along. You literally have to get a new culture, and that's what I keep saying because it's the culture. A lot of the things, the reason why, because I didn't just come to that conclusion
Mm,
just willy nilly. Like a lot of things that you look at and that you really think about, like perspective wise,
mm,
when you really look at it, everything goes back to the culture. Everything. The way parents treat their kids, it goes back to the culture. What people see on TV, it goes back to the culture. What people what you know what I mean? I remember because I look back over this video today and I remember exactly like the mindset that I was when I made that video. You think about the fact that you have people that the first thing that they do when there's a fight is they pull out their phones,
mm-hmm.
or the fact that the first thing that people do when somebody is deceased or unalived is they pull out their phones.
Mm-hmm.
Think about all the families that gotta sit there and find out about their loved ones being hurt or something like that, and they find out through social media.
Oh,
Think
I'm actually experienced that myself. So yeah, I understand.
so yeah, like then like I'm pretty sure you like that's not a good feeling. You know what I mean?
It was
So
terrible.
so but that's the culture because the culture says pull out your phone. Culture says when you see two black people fighting, pull out your phone and record. That's the culture that says that. And we can blame it on individual people, but at the end of the day, the people are operating of a mindset because it's not a new mindset. It's not something new that people are just coming up with. People are recycling and doing the same actions. People have been breaking and stealing in cars. People have been doing all that kind of stuff. People violence against each other. People been doing that, and they've been doing it, and they're gonna keep doing it. But at the end of the day, it's the culture that tells people it's okay. And we don't shame the people that do that stuff. Instead, they looked at as hood heroes. Superhero. They get treated like superheroes. And so
But you blame the black culture, but the black culture ain't the one that actually is just doing that. The
yeah, it's
black
not
culture is the one
because
who
the culture
started it.
can't do anything, but the culture influences people to do to
But
do
the
the
black
things that they
culture,
do.
but
I'll
that's
give
what
you an
I'm saying.
example, like Viking culture. Vikings, they went around and they pillaged. They raped and they pillaged. I shouldn't have said that. I graped and they graped and they pillaged. But
Yeah, but
but that's
so that's what they
Viking.
did. But that's not the life no
Yes,
more.
but that was Viking culture. That was their culture to do those
Hmm.
things. And it's the same
Hmm.
thing with black people. It's their culture to pull out their phones. It's their culture to want to kick somebody's head in when you get into a fight with them and then sit there and laugh at them when they start having a seizure. That's black culture.
But they're not the only ones who have done that or even began doing that.
And I'm not saying that they are. I'm saying that they're the only ones that champion and celebrate it.
But that's what I'm saying.
Other
No, that is
cultures
not true.
don't look up and worship those people. They do that. They don't.
Most of
Do they
it's not
fear
a
those people?
culture. I can't even say it's a culture that's doing that. It's more of a generation that's doing that, that made that
That's
okay.
not true.
That was a generation
That's
thing
not true.
because before that, man, a certain generations wasn't even trying to mess with their phones. Wasn't even mess. Honestly, it was us millennials for real, that actually started that.
Don't
It
get
was
too hung
just the
up on the
color of
phones though.
culture.
Don't
It
get
was
too.
a generation. It was the millennials like us who grew up with the cell phones and seeing the cell phones and know how they work. And when we do certain things and see certain things, we want to put it on the platform called social media and want everybody to see it. No matter what color you are, you want to pull out your phone and be like, oh yeah, oh yeah. Doesn't
Don't
matter
but
what color you.
but you can't get
Doesn't
too
matter what
you
culture you
can't
are.
get so hung up on just the phone aspect of it because at the end of the day, people still told story through word of mouth.
But
You
everybody got a mouth.
people didn't just start watching. They didn't just start watching. Come on, man. They didn't just start watching. Didn't just start watching circling around each other and having fights and all that kind of stuff when cell phones came around. You know that's
Because
not
it,
true.
but that's what I'm saying is that it wasn't the only culture that was doing that. This is the whole generation. It wasn't
Again,
interesting.
I'm not saying that people don't do it from other cultures.
But that's not what I'm saying.
I'm saying that we're the only ones who champion and celebrate the fact that they do it.
But that's what I'm saying. We are not the only ones who champion and
Who
celebrate the ones
else?
who do it. We are. It's a generation.
Who
It
else?
really is. Who else?
Yeah,
We got all of the ethnicities.
they don't
All
do that.
of them.
They don't do
Yes,
that.
bro. Every ethnicity that comes that's in the USA, United States of America, that got a cell phone that was raised between the years of 1985 to 2000.
That's not true.
Bro, come on, bro.
That's
Every
not.
one of them.
That's not
Every
true.
single one. No, bro. Every single
That's
one of
not
them.
true. There are plenty of people
That
from
is.
other ethnicities that come over here and they turn their
No, that's
nose.
coming over here. No, bro. I said in the USA. Raised in the USA. Raised in the USA. Not coming over here, but already here in the USA.
The ones that
And
piss
you
they
were
you
part of
talk
a
about the
different
ones that
culture
piss their
in the
families off.
USA.
The ones that piss their families off.
They still piss their families off and look where they at too.
They not doing better. What are you talking about?
But that's what I'm
The
saying.
ones
You
that
cannot
rebel,
just blame it
the
on
ones that
culture.
rebel don't do better. So what I mean,
I'm just saying that in particular topic, you cannot blame that on one culture because it wasn't just one culture. It was actually a generation. The generation was the issue of that
no,
specific
it
topic.
wasn't. It's not the generation because the other
Yeah.
generations don't celebrate it. It doesn't matter if something happens or not. I'm talking about a reaction to something happening. I'm talking
Yeah, I re-
no other cultures aren't celebrating and champion. They don't sit there and have a like people like because the only thing I can really think of is comparing it to the mob, right? The
yeah.
mob. People didn't want to be in the mob. People didn't want to like be the mob. People they were scared of them.
Mm.
That's the truth of the matter. So at the end of the day, we can't sit here and just act like oh it's a generation of people that were doing that. No, they weren't championed and celebrated. They weren't looked at as heroes. They were scared of them. And you can't sit there and tell me that is different, like that or that other cultures sit there and champion and celebrate and push forward and endorse and whatever kind of words you want to use, but that you can't sit there and tell me that they push criminals the way that black culture does.
I feel like this. The only reason why we are identified this way in celebrating these things is because of going back to the gangs. Like, for instance, the Bloods and Crips, and it was always started with the Crips, common resolution
Another
and
product of
progress.
black culture.
Another product of black culture. But at first, in the 70s, it was not okay to be in the gang, just like the mob. People were scared of the gang. But over time in the 80s, it started to be okay because they were the ones who were actually helping the community along with destroying the community at the same time. And then along with more time happening, along with the millennials starting to come around, the millennials started to continue to destroy the culture more
You
by
talking about you talking
publicizing it
about the
with the
Bloods and you
civil
talking about the Crips specifically, or you talking about just gangs in general?
just the gangs in general. It just keeps not even to say gangs in general, but when after that era
Because the
came
Crips
along.
started out as neighborhood surveillance, so they were helping the community at first.
Exactly, but they were doing other things too, preventing um, other neighborhoods to come along and destroying their neighborhood as well. So like, I'm not. First off, anybody that's a part of the crip, I am not disrespecting whatsoever.
Bro, we grown over here. We grown over here.
But I still wanna. I just want to make sure, like, let y'all know I ain't disrespecting nobody whatsoever. I am disrespecting blood. I ain't with all that. But what I'm saying is that from that era all the way over to 1985, because this was established in the 1970s, bro. 10 years later, 1980s come along with the crack babies. That's where it started getting amped up, and then that's when the millennials started happening along with the 80s. Then the 90s started coming along with the cellular devices being publicized. It's not just a
But you
culture.
understand that each year that you just named is just got progressively worse as the black culture got progressively worse, right?
Because it was publicized. The mobs wasn't publicized.
Yeah, they were. People knew.
The police was the mob, bro. What you mean? They was the KKKs. They was the mob. They was a part of it. What you,
Yes,
they
there
don't
were
not gonna
member. There were
publicize
mem.
that.
Yes, there were members, but they themselves weren't.
They themselves were. That's why they're not
So you're
publicized.
saying that the police and all them were mob and KKK organizations.
Police, government, the representatives, everybody that was higher up in the government, all of them were part of the mobs, but they did it differently than we did. We did it amongst the streets and talked to each other. They
Well,
did it
you can't
secret.
say all of them were a part of the mob.
I
You can
can't say
say,
all of them. I'm
yeah,
not gonna say
there were
all of them.
members that may have been a part of.
Several members was a part of one, which is of them, which is why they did it differently than we did as a black culture. Black culture, we were the streets, we were amongst it. We did it in a different light than what they did. Than what they were a part of the mob and being in the government and being a part of the police system, and they did it quietly.
But
They
you're still not
controlled the
addressing the
press
fact of why it's celebrated with black culture and not celebrated with other cultures.
But that's what I'm getting at is that they were celebrating it only, but they were not publicizing it. Only reason why you see more of black people and we see more black people publicized because that's just what we did along with that era. And but then excuse me, when then I would say that's what we did just in general. But when that era come along, it wasn't just us that was being that was celebrating it. It was everybody that was celebrating it.
When
It
it
started
comes
being
to
publicized
technology
more
and
and more and
stuff
more,
like that,
more
white
and more and
people
more.
did a lot of that stuff first. So what do you mean?
You say what?
When it comes to technology and a lot of that stuff, white people did a lot of that stuff first. So like, what is it? What do you mean?
Hmm. Hmm. But when it came to us, when we did things, it was almost like we did it better. So we're gonna watch their stuff more than
But
our
how do we
stuff.
get like, again? How do we get from glamorizing it?
Because they look at our stuff more than look at their stuff. But they're doing it the same amount, the same thing that we're doing. But everybody's viewing us because we are more entertaining.
So you
Again, it
want
goes back to that. I will watch the more entertaining video than just just an educational video. I would rather, I can't, back in the day, people would rather watch people that is more brutally beaten and fighting than they swing in the air and knocking over each other and hugging each other. But they were doing the same thing at the same time, but people were watching it. More viewers going this way. So we only identified that our culture was the one who was doing it because we were more viewed more, we were entertained more. Remember, black people was in the entertainment business as well because they liked the way that we look. Dance, monkey dance. But we weren't the first ones that was doing it. They were doing it too. But we were entertaining more because we were better to look at. Because we did it, they thought that we did it better. Same thing, bro, in a whole different era.
mm,
So it's not just one culture. It's a whole era. It's a whole generation that
again?
made
I'm
that
not
worse.
again. Again, if that was the case, then we would see it. But you can't just sit there and just say, "Oh, all these people were celebrating and championing this," when you don't see it.
Oh, it goes back to my point. It was not publicized.
So
It
if
was not.
so,
It was not fantasized. It wasn't. It wasn't viewed for them.
so
It was
if
only.
but if they see it for us, then doesn't that just it still goes and reinforces my point that it's trash because then that means that you're not even good enough to keep your dirty laundry in your house.
Well, you got that part. That I'll agree. Why can't we're not doing good better enough to do it in private? Why do we have to publicize it so that other people have this now platform to be able to make it what was it? To make it oh my god, I lost the word. To make it more popular, to make it was it to go viral.
You know,
You
black
giving it a
people
platform to go
100% have
viral.
the power to take back and control their image. They choose not to, and that's the truth of the matter. They choose
Because
not
they
to
like to go
because they don't care. They like it. They
like it.
like being viewed as savages. They like being viewed as monsters, and for some reason that's what people choose to decide that that's how they want to become a hero, and that's they claim the fame. And at the end of the day, we can sit there and we can make excuses for them all the time, like as much as we want. But I mean, that's just what it is. That's just what it is. They don't want to do better, and that's the truth. They don't want to do better because if they did, then they would.
Excuses is only as for to get you out of something.
Yeah,
But
exactly. And
an
it's to get out
explanation is a reason.
accountability. Accountability.
Accountability.
Black people don't like accountability.
But an explanation is a reason. Did anybody bother to even ask them why they do the things that they do?
It doesn't matter. We looking at the results.
Exactly. So now you're just saying, since it doesn't matter, we're not going to ask you nothing. We're not going to figure out why you're doing this to help you out. We're just going to throw you under the bus because you are doing this. You're not going to give you a chance. You mess up once, and I believe you're going to mess up again because who you hang out with and where you come from and where you stand, you are fitting this image. I'm not helping you.
That's why you should separate yourself.
How can you when you're a part of this? You're part of it. You But how can you when you're not having the chance to even say your own piece?
You can
How?
say your own piece.
How can you if no one is asking? You want them to just walk up and just say it?
The same
You
way
think they're
that
gonna do
the
that?
same way that the other successful black people that you mentioned, the same way that they did it.
Because somebody reached out and asked them.
That's
They
not necessarily
yes,
true.
yes, yes. Booker T.
Maybe somebody
Washington,
reached out
there
and
was a
asked him.
professor, but there was a professor that reached out and asked this man to go do that. And Web Du Bois, there was a white man that went and asked him to go do it. Bruce
A
Frank,
who
there was
man?
people that went and asked him to go do it.
A who
And
man?
asked him to fail.
A who man?
A woman, a man,
No,
somebody that has power.
You said a white man.
I'm saying, but that's who it was. That's how it was in the books what we read. That's who it was. That's what they described him as a white man. A white man did ask Booker T. Washington to do these things, and he did, and he was very successful. Very successful. So what I'm saying is, you shaming these guys, shaming everybody without even asking. Why do you do these things? Without asking them their piece, you're assuming.
I don't need to ask you why you destroying the community. I don't need to ask
But
you
that,
why.
but that's where the everybody goes wrong with our black society, our black culture. You don't ask anything. You assume. You make an ass out of me and you. And after having a conversation with a younger guy that does these things, um, now don't get me wrong, there was a lot of things that I helped out with. But when at the earlier stage of when I was helping this kid out, he said the reason, like, to be honest, he didn't have the opportunity to even say his own piece. He felt like no one cared. No one even tried to ask him anything. No one tried to reach out and help him. He didn't feel like he was helped. He didn't feel like he had an avenue to do it. So does his friend and his other friend and his other friend. They don't feel like they have an avenue, which people don't. They're scared of them. They're scared of them to even try to help.
So you prove them right?
No, but that's what I'm saying. We're not proving them right. We're not proving them right at all. Well, actually, we are. You are. You are proving them right that you don't care about them. You don't try to reach out to them. You assume that they look the way they act. And you assume that they're going to stay that way because how they're surrounded by everybody else. You don't ask them nothing. You don't come up to say nothing to them. Everybody's scared of them. And I'm not saying you, but I'm saying the people that feels it just like you. You build them this way. So now you put this image towards them.
So you don't think that how you present yourself and your image and all those things can play a role in changing how people view you and approach you?
Don't get me wrong. I do because I have the education of it. But how do they know without giving the proper
Somebody got to tell
opportunity?
them, but guess what? Whenever people try to tell people stuff, they don't listen to them.
That's the problem. Why are you trying to tell me anything? Why
Exactly.
don't you just
What?
ask me? But that's
What?
what I'm saying.
You can
Why don't
guys,
you?
you can't make this up. I'm sorry,
No,
guys.
no,
You
bro, no,
can't
bro.
make
What I'm
this
saying
up.
is,
You
that's the
can't make
problem.
this up, guy. What?
No, that's
He
the
just
problem.
proved my point.
That's what I'm saying. But that's the whole point. That's what I'm saying. You asked me. You asked me to do things. You asked me to, you know, to come here. And I responded. Now you didn't tell me, hey Ron, you're gonna come here, you're gonna say this, you're gonna say this. You didn't do that. You approached me and you asked me.
No, but
You get
I'm saying like
you
in a
hold
situation.
on, hold on, let me say this. You gave me the option to choose. These people, this community, this culture, they're not given really, they're given the option, but they're not getting the question asked to them.
Man, that's BS, man. That's BS, man. You don't get an option. You don't get an option. When I sit there and
Exactly.
tell
You don't
you,
get an option.
no,
You're forced to do it.
when I tell you that your presentation matters and how you carry yourself and how you do that, that's not me. That's not something to debate. That's not something to conversate about. That's not something to have a discussion about.
Yeah.
I'm telling you that because it's a fact of life. It's a fact. It's not just
Mhm.
something you can debate. So whether you choose to listen to it or not, That's up to you. You
How do
hurting
you know
yourself.
that?
You hurting
How do you
yourself.
know that?
How do
But I'm
you?
saying you know that because you were educated to know that, right?
Some
You
people got
were
to learn the hard way.
you were educated to do that. But then, as a good teacher, as if you are really trying to teach somebody something, you will adjust to your students. Some students don't do very well with being told, well, it's this, without asking, what's going on? Can I clear your mind to get to you?
I mean, I'm not a teacher. I'm a commentator.
I, I know. But I'm just
You
saying
know what
though,
I'm saying?
in
So,
general. So it's like this community is getting told what to do, but nobody listening to them. Nobody's listening to them.
what do they
So
have
since
to
nobody's
say?
listening to them, they're doing what they want to
What do
do
they have
because
to
they
say?
get, but they getting told everything. Like
What
they
do they
getting
have to
told
say?
this, you do this.
What do they have to say?
Go ask them. That would be my thing. Go
What
ask them. They have their own voice.
What does little
Go
Pookie have to say to me to explain to me the why his presentation doesn't matter, and I have to exude extra effort in order to sit there and go conversate and to understand why he's a little terrorist that is going around making other people's lives miserable, and why I gotta lock my doors in certain areas because of him. Like, come on.
go ask. Go ask. That's how you get your answers to anybody. To anybody. Sometimes people will tell you, hey, this is a lifestyle that I have chosen. Okay, you made that decision. Now from there, woo, because they told you. The other person, because I didn't have an opportunity like you're giving me now. Now you open the dialect. Now you can start talking to them. Now you can start telling them, okay, hey, bro, this is what you do. You do this. And that gives them the option to choose differently. You see that right there? That could change the whole world, bro. The whole culture, the
It
whole
could, but
trans culture.
that doesn't neglect, or it doesn't take away from the fact of what I'm saying is true. Is if I sit there and
It doesn't.
tell,
It doesn't.
if I'm telling the little dude, if I'm telling him, and I'm telling him this because you don't have to tell nobody anything. You don't have to share anything that you learn or any type of game that you get. You don't have to share that. So if I'm taking time out of my day to tell you that you need to change your approach and change how you look and how you present yourself. Look, I'll give you an example, right? Like me, I go through my little bouts with depression and stuff like that. FYI, there you go. There's my secret, guys. But you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think all of us are depressed.
I go through my
Not all right, but I'm glad
my
you're
bouts
here.
with depression and stuff like that, right? If I go around and carry myself like a depressive person, I can't get mad because people think I'm a depressive person.
But what
It's
if
what I'm
somebody told
presenting.
you? What if somebody's telling you that you are a depressed person? You are doing this. You need to do this. You need to do this better.
You talking about
What
if
you gonna
somebody was telling me if I'm
just
going
walk up
around
to you?
depressed and somebody telling me, hey man, you need to put on a smile, or you need to pick up your face or pick up your head or something.
No. A
That's the
different
equivalent. That's the
delivery.
equivalent. That is
Now it's
the
not the
equivalent.
equivalent. Different delivery,
No,
and the delivery, like
no,
we
it's
said,
not. You
matters.
need to
But
no.
we did agree at the
Me
beginning.
telling the little dude that he needs to pick up, that he needs to change his presentation, that he needs to change how he dress, and he needs to carry himself different is no different than somebody telling me that I need to pick my head up and quit walking with my head down, and it's no different. It's no different. If I choose not to listen to it, I can't be mad at the outcomes that come my way.
Mhm.
Right?
And that's that I'm not disagreeing on that because that is very true from what we both have the knowledge of. That is very true. But then this is the only thing that has been neglected is seeing the other side,
But you keep
being
saying
told what to
because
do all
that
the
we have
time.
the knowledge of, but you keep you started
Because
out.
I have the knowledge of it.
Yeah, but you started out by saying, you said that people don't want people to tell them nothing.
I have the knowledge to know that because I've experienced it myself. Because I was that kid. I was that kid early on.
So then all you've done is just prove my point that they don't
No,
want
but that's
help.
what
They
I'm saying.
don't want
I'm
the help.
proving my point. What I'm proving is that somebody gave me an opportunity. Somebody asked me, why do I do the things that I'm doing? That gave me my platform to say my piece that I finally been wanting to say for the longest. Since I finally was able to get that off my chest, I finally could have ears to hear, to listen, for somebody to tell me what I really needed to do. And I listened to them because I chose to, because I felt like, okay, now I have options. I didn't have options. I didn't, you tell me I didn't have to do this. I could do this. This one sounds better. You know what? I'm going to choose this one. I was given an option because someone finally listened to me and asked me instead of telling me. And we all grew up getting told what to do and all this, woo, 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 woo. And you know this. This is another thing too. This is another statistic that when we are told what to do and no one listens to us, then we become rebellious. We become rebellious because we don't feel like we have a voice. So we want to do everything opposite of what anybody tell us.
But the consequences of what happened to you when you choose to be rebellious are on you and not on anybody else.
Facts. But
So
if you want to take away those consequences,
responsibility to sit there and fight people and try to get them to understand and try to be better. Only thing I can do is just tell you. I can give you the game.
You're going this way with it. You're going this way with it. But this is the thing, though, is that coming back to it, if you're being told all the time what to do, and you have a voice too, but you're not able to say your voice, that goes back to your culture. Your culture messed up because you don't listen to anybody else but you. You are only right, not me or anybody else. Only what you say is right. So if only you say what's right, your culture all the way jacked up. You know what I'm saying? That's how I can be seen. And when it's seen that way, now I'm going to be rebellious. I don't want to be a part of your culture. If that's what we do, I don't want to be a part of that. I don't want to end up like you. Because you don't want to listen to nobody. I'd rather somebody listen to me. Oh, little Pookie listening to me. What's up, Pookie? Oh, we're Greg. Woo. All them listening to me. But you don't want to listen to me. So I'm going to be like them. Because they listen to me. You know what I'm saying? You see how that goes? And then now I got all my actions are penalized. And I get the worst of the worst. But at the same time, as I get penalized for my actions, I am destroying my neighborhood because I'm doing all these things, all because nobody's listening to me.
No, what's
When
happening?
all that could have been fixed
No, the
was
order of
somebody
events is
asked.
important. The order of events
Somebody
is
asked
important.
me.
The order of events is important. They're
That is true.
destroying
That's
their
true. That's true.
neighborhood and then being penalized for their actions. They feel
That's
how they
true.
feel. They act out. They destroy their neighborhoods and then they're penalized for their actions.
Yeah, that's true. And that's 100% true. But all of that could be prevented by just opening up and asking the kid, why? What's on your mind? Why you do the things you do?
That's the job of a social worker, ain't it?
Oh, you just only put it at a job?
No,
Why can't
I'm
we just
saying
be
that's the
one person?
job of a
No, why
social
can't it
worker.
just be like you? If somebody else like just walked up to you and saw that you're doing wrong, or you putting your head down, and somebody just randomly saw, hey, bro, what's wrong with you? You know what I'm saying?
That's the
That's all it
kindness of their
takes.
heart. That's out of the kindness of their heart. I'm not owed that.
Exactly.
I'm not
But,
owed that.
but why can't we do that? Why does it have to be a job? Why can't it just be the kindness of my heart to just ask the kid
It
instead of
doesn't have
assuming
to.
that the poo poo or
But guess
Kiki
what?
is
But,
going
but
to be
guess
a
what?
demon?
But guess what? Somebody telling me to pick my head up when I'm going through a bout of depression doesn't help me. That doesn't help me. It's not gonna make
It
what I'm
does. It
going.
does.
It's not gonna make what I'm going through better. But it doesn't
It does.
change the fact that what they're telling me is true. They're telling me to
Yeah.
pick my head up because it's a bad look. They're
Yeah.
not
But
telling
it
me that
doesn't
because
help you. But
because it's trying to make my situation better. They're telling me that because it's a bad look. And so if I choose to ignore that, then that's on me. And I continue to walk around looking stupid.
But you're going back into this hole here. So going back to that, it doesn't help you. But what would help you is, hey, why are you feeling depressed, bro? Now you can open up. Now you can feel better because now you can open up and say what's wrong. And now that person or you have an opportunity to do something different. Because somebody asks you the simple question is, what's wrong? And that's why black culture is trash. We don't add snaps. We don't do none of that, bro. We don't do none of that kind of stuff. We assume that everybody do the same thing because how they look and how they do it, how they been doing. We don't just ask that simple question. We scared. So since we scared, we gonna get robbed. We ain't gonna say nothing. We just gonna be like, hey, bro, he need to get locked up. Hey, bro, nah, we need to flood this water, and only two of y'all could come in. Not you. Only two of y'all could come in, and in this art, the rest of y'all, I don't know. I don't see y'all no more. I don't know about y'all. I don't. We starting over, bro. That's where y'all at. That's where everybody's at. Instead, some of us, what we should do is some of us should just take the kindness of our heart. At least just ask one kid a week, and for real, for real. If you see somebody like that, like, hey, can I ask you a real question? Like, be real. Did you speak the same language they do? Be real. You know, what's up, bro? What's up with you? What's up with you, OG? Hey, bro, let me ask, what you got on your mind today? And they gonna be like, what you mean? I'm just curious. I just want to know how you feel. Oh, okay, I feel you. And then some of them might just open up. They have the choice to open up. Some of them might. And it ain't none of your business. All right, understood. I was just caring for you, brother. After that, none of them, after you say, I was just caring for you, brother, none of them will attack you for caring. None of them. I've never, none. But we don't give them that opportunity to do so.
Uh,
I'm just saying,
I'm
though.
I'm gonna use an example, right? I'm gonna use an
Mhm.
example, and that example was there's this guy I watch. His name is Anton Daniels, and this guy, he's a great, dope content creator. So he was doing one of his morning streams, and on this video there was a guy that called in, and the guy had locks, right? Now
Mhm.
I've had locks. You've had them
I
multiple
got a
times. You
lot, you know what
got
I'm
them. You
saying?
know what I'm saying? And so
Yeah.
all that stuff. So the guy Anton was telling him that in order to really like move up in a certain way in a certain job sphere, that he needs to cut his hair, right? Whether
Right.
you agree with that or disagree with that, that's an instance of somebody trying to give somebody some game from his perspective, right?
Right.
He don't have to. He the dude just calling in his show. He could just talk stuff about him. He could do whatever. But he's trying to tell this dude. This dude called in the show
Mhm.
3 times. But it took that third time for him to actually get his hair cut. And he
Mhm.
came on the stream with his haircut.
Mhm.
And my thing is, that's all you can do. You can just sit there. You can't make people do anything, but you can sit there. Everybody isn't the role of a nurturing teacher. And I don't think that that's fair to put that responsibility on everybody. I think that people have a responsibility to take care of their home and to make sure that home is good, because at the end of the day, the black community, you almost got to look at it like a snowball, right? But
Mhm.
inside of a snowball, there's individual snowflakes, and all the individual snowflakes have to do their job. But if some
Mhm.
snowflakes ain't doing their job, then the snowball is not going to be able to form.
Mhm.
So at the end of the day, like I said, we can sit there and make all these excuses, but it's the bad behavior of the people that are really making, and they tarnish whatever good could come out of the current modern black community. So the only way you could really fix that is to get is to get rid of it, and to get rid of the people to that refuse to leave the old ways behind. That's just the truth of the matter. I mean,
I get it. I get it. I mean that. I mean, I ain't gonna fake it. That's a fantasy. That's definitely a fantasy. But in reality, it's not fair to assume everybody's gonna listen to what people tell them when they're not prepared to even be educated.
then
You know,
that's
that's
on
not
them.
fair.
That's on
That's
them.
that's not fair. But I know life not fair.
Yeah,
I mean,
life really isn't fair, but and that's on them. Sometimes you learn stuff when you're not ready to learn it.
no, no, it ain't on them. It's on us because you had the choice to ask too. You had the choice to tell, and you had the choice to ask, but you chose to tell. That's on you that you chose that path.
No,
You
because
didn't
I
even
don't need to
try.
know their story.
See, that's what I'm saying. See, you
Why?
have the
I'm saying,
choice.
but that's what I'm saying. Why is it my job to know that they story?
That's what I'm saying. You're making it a job. It's not. It's not a job. Not at all. Even though we are this snowflake and this snowball.
If you put the expectation on somebody, if you put the expectation of somebody to do something like that, then you're therefore saying you're taking away from the heartfeltness of it. If you choose to do it out of your own free will, then it's you choosing to do it and be heartfelt about it. Everybody is not meant to do that, and everybody can't do that. I'm
That's
saying
true.
that it's why is it that you can't appreciate the fact that it's it's enough just to be willing to even tell you something that you doing is wrong. Because a lot of people, believe it or not, a lot of people in the world, they'll just let you crash out and burn and just watch the show. So even a person taking the time out to tell you what is actually what could actually potentially help them get them further, help them progress in life. Even a person, if you choose not to listen to it, that's on you. But I mean, a person taking the time out to even tell you that, tell you something, tell you anything, that should be commended. That's something that's commendable, and because you don't have to, you don't owe anybody anything. And people, and that's the other thing. That's another reason why I say that this culture is trash, because they too entitled. A lot of the times you hear these black people, they always talk about, well, nobody ever did this for me. Nobody ever wants to do this. Nobody ever wants to do this, because they're so entitled. They think that they're supposed to, or that they owe to do that. But then yet and still we got the jokes about Karens, and we'll sit there and say that white people are entitled, but yet and still black people are some of the most entitled people that I've ever met. That's the thing. We can't sit here and just act like people are expected to sit there and be willing to listen to your life story and be willing to listen to everything, every trauma, every sadness, every hurt, every scar that shaped you into the person you are today, when the person you are today is directly causing destruction and chaos amongst the community and making it unsafe for you to live. We're not talking about normal people. We're talking about people that are making it unsafe to live. And I think it's unfair to sit there and try to criticize and put people down because they don't have the energy or the time to invest to try to understand why somebody is destroying and causing fire and chaos to their neighborhoods.
Then then those people that are what you are explaining, saying that they're not, it's not their job to do so. Then those are the people that needs to stop saying that um, they are destroying black. Their black culture is trash, and you just start saying we as our black culture is trash, because it's the other side of the tree. We all are doing the wrong thing. We all are against each other. This right here is showing that we all are against each other. And you're very right. You're 100% right. You're proving everything you're saying is right. We all are against each other through all of it. I mean, all of it. All of this. And since we're all against each other, the only time we come together is when there's a white person shunning one of us. That's the only time we come together. But when we come back together and look at each other, we all are so the other tree and don't even want to understand the other side. You just say, you know what? You're just a rotten apple. We don't want to know why you're a rotten apple. You're just a rotten apple. You need to be a good apple. And that's it. So you are very right. We, as a black culture, is trash. And you are 100% prove me a believer of it. I believe that black culture is trash because we cannot be in the middle. We can't come together. It's like it's like we choose not to understand the other side.
Mm,
But it's true. We choose not to. That's all. I agree.
Well, a win's a win, folks. No, I'm just kidding. No, I'm just kidding. Nah, I, I don't know, man. It's not like I said. It's not that I don't think that we can't come together. I think it's that we won't come together. But I think that I just don't think it's fair to just expect. You know what I mean? Expect when Lil Pookie is sitting there terrorizing the community, and Lil Ray Ray is right along with him, or even worse, Lil Ray Ray knows about what Lil Pookie is doing, but he's not gonna say nothing. He's complacent. And I'm not
Oh,
saying that,
absolutely.
yeah, I'm not saying that he should, but I'm saying that he's complacent. So it's not
Oh,
even just the fact that a lot of people are participating in the worst behaviors, but a lot of people are complacent in those behaviors. A lot of people are. So
yeah.
we can sit there and pretend like we not, but we all know that we all know that we know people that do crimes, and we haven't told on them, we haven't reported them. You know what I
No,
mean? And
and I
and
won't.
and, and that's the thing. And you know what I'm saying? So it's like other
It goes, but it goes back to your point. You have proven it right. Like, bro, we won't come together because want to we don't want to understand the other side. We all have our own expectations. Because I feel like it's not fair that you only look at it in one direction, and it could be the same thing as another direction. You can, it's the same thing coming out of the same heart feeling thing that you make a statement to someone. But it's the same thing when you choose to ask someone a question. Make a statement to someone and ask a question comes from the same place. But you choose the way that you come up, your approach, your delivery. You choose to approach this delivery, going back to the man with the cake. You're choosing to make this beautiful cake and present it with this festation plate. You're choosing, but you have an option to clean it and give you a clean plate with the amazing cake. It's a choice.
But are you still
And
gonna want that same cake? Or are you gonna want a
with
new
that
cake?
same, well, I'm not saying the same cake now. Now, don't get me wrong.
All right then. So that
It's the same.
well, okay then. That's my point.
The major. What I'm saying is
The
not the
cake
same
has been
slice of.
tarnished. That's my
I'm not
point.
saying. My point is not the same slice of cakes. You're telling me that they have cut me a slice of cake with this festive, like this feces plate, but there's another cake that's sitting perfectly beautiful over there. Nothing's wrong with it. It's perfectly beautiful.
Yeah, it just hasn't been cut yet. There's no feces on it. The feces only come when he put it on the plate.
So you have the option to give me a clean plate, but you chose to give me a dirty plate.
No,
You
it's part of
chose,
this part. It's part of the presentation.
but
It's like
you
that green.
chose to
It's like
present
that
this
green
way.
stuff they put on steak.
You chose to put the green stuff on the steak. I've had steak without that green stuff.
Yeah, it's part of
You,
the restaurant. You chose to come
but
there.
no, it's not. If you chose to put it on my plate, if I order it without the green stuff, you're gonna give me without the green stuff.
Yeah, but you didn't order it without the crap on it. You just said everybody that goes there knows that he serves crap on the plate, and they still eat the cake anyway. And you just the person that just don't like it.
Exactly, and I can go there, and if I'm there, I can request without the green stuff on the steak. And guess what they're gonna do? They gonna either kick me out or they're gonna go back and give me a new steak without the green stuff.
Yeah, but you're not gonna know unless you get the steak.
Unless I get the steak, that's fine. But you know what I did differently than everybody else? I gave a chance. I gave a choice. Not everybody has to do it. I'm not saying everybody must do it, but I gave one chance, that one out of a million chance, to ask you to give me
And man,
a clean
fact of
plate.
life is first impressions, last impressions, man. Sometimes.
Mhm. I forget the other saying because there's another saying behind that. But there's another, and it's like, so I don't remember how it goes, but there's another saying behind that first impression, and it goes back to delivery. You chose to deliver me this. You chose to,
It's part of the
but you had the
presentation, man.
option.
Like I
You
said,
are- you had, but you had the option to present
you
me
just know
something.
that you're gonna be getting a fire cake that's gonna come with poop on it.
And
You just
again, it
know
goes
that.
back to me knowing coming in. I'm like, hey, bro, I know that you come here with the poop on it, but I don't want it with the poop on it. Can you give me with the clean plate? That's me. I know you do it to put poop on it. I'm glad everybody like that, but I don't like that. Can I get the clean plate, please? That's
And
me.
what if he say no, or what if he just bring it
Then
out
you lost the
anyway?
customer.
What if
Then I'm not taking the plate. I don't want it. I'm good. That's why. But I gave you a choice. I gave you a chance. I gave you a chance to give me a better delivery than what you're giving everybody else. I
okay,
gave you a
not
chance.
just
I asked the
everybody.
question. I asked the question. Not everybody got to do it, but I asked it out
So
of the kindness of
basically,
my heart
people
instead
should
of telling you.
divest from black culture then.
You say what?
So basically, people should divest from black culture.
You said divest,
Yes, divest, separate, get away from,
separate from black
run.
culture, separate from this
Oscar
black
Mike,
culture.
get
Yeah.
away, get away from.
Separate from, yeah, from your point of view, yeah, separate from this black culture, absolutely. I'm not going to say get rid of it. No. Separate, yes.
Why would you keep
Create
something
your own to
if it's
separate,
so
yes.
bad that you need to get away from it? Then why wouldn't you get? Why would you just get rid of it? Because we already established that the actions of the people in black culture, the actions of the people is actually spilling out and affecting other people. So it's actually making other people's lives harder for black culture to continue to exist the way it is right now.
Did you know that when you have a plant and the piece of the stem gets rotten, you don't cut it off? Not supposed to. What you're supposed to do is nurture that plant. And eventually that plant grows to be the full leaf, the full plant itself. That plant was given an opportunity to be something different than what it originally presented. And all it just took was just an opportunity. Maybe we could give, I ain't gonna say give because I can't say that. Um, the only thing I can only say is, yeah, we should do something different for a different type of culture. Let's stop calling it. Let's create a different culture and leave black culture where it's at, but create our own culture and call it something different. Because if they're going to be stuck there, that's on them.
I think
But
people
if we
should
create,
leave.
but if we create a new culture and give them the option to change out of that culture to this new culture, that's giving an opportunity
I think
to
it'd
be
be
better.
better. I think it would be better if people stop aligning themselves with people based off of race and culture and ethnicity and all those types of things, and start aligning with people based off of values. If
I
more
100%,
if more people
100%.
align with people based off of values and less off of the contents of the off of the contents of their character, and less and less off of skin color, then I think that the world would be a lot better of a place, because you would only be around people that agree, that not it's not just about agree with everything you do. You will be around people that have your values, so you know that you never gonna be in like a conflict of principle with people. So I think that humans are gonna have their disputes, and humans are always gonna have their issues. But when it's different when you know that you dealing with somebody that got good character versus somebody that has bad character. And it's draining and it's exhausting dealing with people that just have bad character. And so when you align with people that are like you, that think like you do, not so much that you could have an echo chamber, because that's not what you should do, but because that's not how you like grow and progress. But you should align with people based off of the values that you have. And that's just what I believe. I believe that that's the way, because aligning with people based off of race, it's not getting us anywhere. And aligning with people based off of religion, that's not getting us anywhere. No, it should just be based off of values. If you good people, then be around good people. If you
people.
bad people, be around bad people.
Mhm.
But I know that's a really simple way to say it and go about it. But I mean,
But it makes sense.
yeah, and that's just that's just my thing. I think that this whole cultural race thing, I think people put way too much weight on it, and it's almost like you don't have any identity outside the fact that you black, and it's sad, and it's really sad to me. It's pathetic.
Yeah.
That's just me, man. But
No, and I actually do agree 100% on that. Like I do believe that if we do get rid of just this being just black, being white, being whatever, and just having all the same values, now you can value somebody if they're a good person or a bad person, and leave out all the extra middle stuff. I think the world would be so much more simple, so much more easier, so much more happier, less crimes. I feel like more money would be made. So many positive things will be better if we did get rid of all of this culture stuff. I 100% agree.
yeah, well, he been going for like 2.5 hours, man.
Well, it took 2.5 hours to convince me that black culture is trash. I said it on record. It took me 2 hours to convince me that black culture is trash.
Yeah, man. But I I appreciate you for coming on though, man, for real though. Like, tell me how you feel about it.
Man, it was great. I'm gonna be honest. I appreciate you for putting me on, bringing me here. This is our first podcast that actually is publicized. I was part of one, but unfortunately, some people were too drunk, and that didn't go very well. But I appreciate you for bringing me on and having this discussion with me. And all I can say is just thank you. And
Yeah, that's no
I'll love
problem, man. I
more.
appreciate you coming through, man, for real. for,
Absolutely.
for real, man. I really do appreciate it. Go ahead, and shout out, plug yourself again, man.
Yeah, yeah. So again, y'all, my name is Aaron. I am a photographer. You can follow me under my Instagram at Dopeness Creations. Again, it's Dopeness Creations, all one word. I have a personal page if you want to follow me at unbreakable underscore Ron, RON. And you can find me literally at Aaron Johnson almost everywhere, to be honest. But that's your boy, man.
Yeah. Yeah, and as y'all already know, I'm Jayy Redd Unfiltered. This is episode one of the Jayy Redd Unfiltered Show. We trying some different stuff out this year, and we got more coming. So hopefully we have more conversations. And a lot of y'all in the comment section, of these videos. I ain't talking about nobody watching right now because we know y'all better than that. But talking to the people in the comment section that got all that smoke and hiding behind the avatars, you can pull up too. You can pull up. You can pull up. I ain't ducking no smoke. You can pull up. you can pull up. On that note, I'm Jayy Redd Unfiltered. I'm signing out. Salute.